Okay, so like I said in the last video, we wanted to go a little bit into a clip that has been going around, essentially talking about the Sykkuno situation, and specifically hemomalvt VT, who obviously made the kind of Google Doc alongside stuff with Ophelia in it. But essentially, some people have been pointing out some stuff from the actual call that was, kind of published on the Google Doc itself. As, some people are starting to see it as maybe something a little bit different, because of course, if you don't know, Sykkuno has been kind of accused of, being a cheater, and of course going after multiple women, and it does seem like he has, 100% done that. But many people are starting to question now hemomalvt and their kind of intentions, especially whenever it comes to the call afterwards, right? After all of this has been found out, and essentially some of the stuff that she was saying within a clip from the call itself. Now, this is one of the posts that has been blowing up, so I was down in the replies, essentially saying, oh my god, around 55:22 of the Muujin video, this girl literally says, but you can still talk to me after Sykkuno wants to sever ties. That's not something you say to a dangerous predator. She's mad. She wasn't the number one of this cheating scum, lol. So yeah, obviously it's pretty interesting because throughout this call, obviously, he owns up to cheating on his girlfriend and all of this kind of stuff, as well as, they just kind of talk about it, as well as a ton of other stuff, right? And again, you guys can go and watch that full call. It's in the actual Google Doc itself, which will be down in the link below. But this one clip essentially talks about kind of, oh, Sykkuno's like, okay, well, that's it, right? Nothing else is going to happen, because during this call, he actually goes to call her first, which obviously is very interesting because, he has a whole girlfriend downstairs who is, or I say downstairs, in the other room or whatever, who is obviously clearly upset by what has gone on and found out what has gone on. But he goes to her first instead of his actual girlfriend, which of course was a little bit weird, right? And a lot of people have been wondering that, and they've been talking about that as well within the call itself. But yeah, this clip is what a lot of people have been talking about.
That's it. Like,
what's it?
Probably never talking again.
You and me?
Yes.
What? Why?
Is that not why?
What is why? I'm still upset with you, but you didn't cheat on me. You can still talk to me and be, like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for second chances. But I never will forgive you for cheating on her. That's...
So, yeah, that's essentially the clip that a lot of people have been talking about, obviously saying, like, hey, you can still talk to me, but I'll never forgive you for cheating on her. Again, let's just play that one more time.
You can still talk to me and be, like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for second chances. But
saying, you can make up for your actions. I'm always there for second chances. So, to me, obviously, this clip does kind of feel like, hey, she kind of still wants it, right? This isn't just a, oh, we're done. It's over. Like, I can't believe you cheat on her. It's over. We're done. I'm never talking to you again. She's like, well, you can message me and there's always second chances, which I do think is, yeah, not exactly the best look, especially for a lot of the people that have not been, too happy with a lot of the doc. Now, of course, that doesn't, I guess, invalidate a lot of the other claims that she has made in terms of the cheating, because, the fact that he has cheated on his girlfriend obviously is true. And the fact that he's done it with multiple women is also true. But obviously, a lot of people are now pushing the kind of story that potentially she wanted to be the number one, right? And that she wanted to be the kind of person that, he was talking to, which, again, obviously that can have a lot of different kind of explanations for it. Some people are saying that, oh, she's like some kind of, I guess, like someone who wants his, like, fame and clout and all this kind of stuff, or money, which again, I don't know. And of course, there's also this other kind of thing of like, maybe, she's been talking to him, he's a big streamer, of course, and maybe is still kind of infatuated with him, even though she has found out all of this stuff, which of course can also happen. It does get very complicated, right? But of course, there's been a lot of people down here. She was saying she's blocked me, which tells me she's most likely is a liberal, which again, I have no clue. I don't know what that... I mean, I don't know if the politics really is a factor in this, to be honest. Has a victim complex, was pro-cancel culture, said I wouldn't doubt it. So, yo, guys, make sure to keep this energy when the next scandal about a woman cheating on her BF comes out. Said he would have had all the energy against him if these did try to exaggerate it. Because of that, less people care due to the people he preyed on being clout chasing assholes too. And yeah, a lot of people have been kind of pointing out the fact that, you know, there's been a lot of people trying to debunk and, you know, disprove this kind of Google Doc and, you know, the voice call and all of this kind of stuff. A lot of people have been pointing out similar situations, whatever similar stuff has happened. For example, like the fruit situation, where obviously they went after her and nobody really tried to debunk that. They just went after her, right? And of course, it seems like whenever it's the men that has done the cheating, it seems like a lot of people, you know, start to get behind them. Which again, I do think there is some kind of, you know, what do you call it? Not coincidence, like I don't know, correlation there. Which essentially, you know, might be the case, but obviously that's what a lot of people have been pointing out. They say two people who keep saying they texted him first. They are 18 and 19. Dumbass young adults don't know anything. They liked a famous person like anyone does. Why are we not asking why did this 34-year-old man respond to a 19-year-old fan right away? Sykkuno is the one to blame. He said if they're dumbass young adults, they shouldn't be voting, which again, you know, I think it's fair enough. I think, you know, at 19, you should be old enough to you know what you're doing. Now, of course, I do think there is a little bit less emotional maturity, of course, in a 19-year-old than a 34-year-old, right? I do think that is the case, but you know, as I said, you know, they're voting, they're driving, they're doing all of this other stuff, right? So they should be able to, you know what they are doing. And of course, you know, people at 19, 20, whatever, make mistakes. Sure, that's 100% true. But again, that's what some people are saying. She's not a victim. She's just upset she's a side piece. The side piece gets cut off, makes Google Doc to expose him, reaping the 25 million impressions of temporary clout. Real victim is the actual girlfriend. And yeah, I do think the real, you know, one of the biggest victims behind this is, yeah, Sykkuno's girlfriend. I feel like she has been, you know, the one that has been at the most kind of pain throughout all of this. And I think even hemomalvt would say that as well. I think she would also say that, you know, the girlfriend is the one that is, you know, getting the most, I guess, what do you call it, like emotional anguish out of this, right? Because of course, yeah, she literally says it there, right? You know, you didn't cheat on me, you cheated on your girlfriend, and obviously that's why she said you can still message me, which I think, yeah, I think that's an odd statement, and a lot of people have been pointing that out. And I do want to, like, kind of, you know, you know, show you guys this, because of course it's a discussion that a lot of people have been having on Twitter at the same time as all of the stuff of people going after Sykkuno. Like, I think these two things can be true at the same time as well. I do think you can be, you know, not happy with Sykkuno for the way that, you know, he has cheated on his girlfriend and, you know, targeted smaller creators in the sense of, you know, talking to them and using his kind of popularity to, yeah, what do you call it, take advantage, you know, of them. But again, I do think also at the same time, you know, it can be true that maybe she wanted to kind of, you know, continue DMing him or continue whatever they had going on, which of course I think can both be true, right? So again, I do think that is just something to be said there. I don't think it really changes much about Sykkuno for me, really. Obviously, yeah, some people were going to try to do anything that they can to disprove the person who made the doc, but to be fair, the doc is still right. Right, no matter, you know, how she feels about Sykkuno and whether she wants to give him a second chance or whatever, I do think that, you know, even if you do think that she's some like jealous, like kind of whatever person, a side piece or whatever that people are saying she is, I still doesn't really change exactly the fact of what he has done. He's still done the same thing, no matter who has put it out, no matter, you know, what relationship they are to him. Now, of course, does it give them a motive to put it out? Maybe. Yeah, sure. But again, as I said, the actual kind of stuff in the doc isn't wrong, right? So again, we can continue going and say, OMG, I didn't even realize it. You know, she spent 15 minutes in the call trying to convince him to leave his ex and get with her. She made the play. Obviously, that's what some people are saying. And of course, there's been some other stuff. I'll cover that in a second, obviously, about Gogoro. But she actually did respond to it as well, of some similar stuff of people talking about this. This person says, what Sykkuno did was messed up, which obviously, yeah, fair enough. But Mao wanting to maintain contact with him was a bit strange to me, which is, yeah, they're obviously referring to that clip. And she actually went and replied to that saying, it was due to me still having some emotional attachment since we had talked every day. That along with always having the values of if someone can change, they can be forgiven. I only brought out the statement afterwards since I realized it was a pattern of cheating when I reached out to more friends. And they said, thank you for clarifying, which again, I do think is actually a pretty good kind of response to that, because I do think, you know, of course, you know, she maybe is a very what do you call it, forgiving person, someone that is, you know, willing to give people a second chance, as she says within the voice thing, which I think is fine. And I think that maybe, yeah, as she says there, it's more so of the case of, you know, she spoke to more people after this call, and essentially after this call she found out there was more people that were, you know, being you know, lied to or whatever about you know, him having a girlfriend or talking to other people, etc. And that's when she decided, okay, maybe a second chance isn't really the case here. And I'm pretty sure, you know, again, I don't know how many cases she knew, you know, of Sykkuno doing this to other people. I don't know if it was just her and Elphilia and obviously his girlfriend as well. I don't know if that was like the only people she knew that was involved, and maybe after that call she talked to other, you know, VTubers or other people who had also been involved with him as well, and then found out actually this is a much bigger case than maybe she originally thought it was, and this really isn't as forgivable as she thought it was, which again I do think could be the case, right? I think that is a pretty understandable way to go about it. And again, you know, I think that a lot of people have been going after her for kind of giving him that second chance, or saying that she'll give him that second chance, but I think it's very clear now with the Google Doc that has come out that he's not really getting a second chance, you know. Like, I don't think she's going to be giving him a second chance after putting out this doc, and I think that, you know, I doubt he's going to want to talk to her either after putting out the doc too. So again, I think obviously opinions could change, you know, the kind of forgiveness window can change depending on the information that you know. So I think it does kind of explain a lot of what has been said in that clip, but of course it probably would have been better to clarify that within the Google Doc itself and maybe explain that a little bit better, because again, of course, it can kind of cause that confusion, right, for some people that are obviously seeing this and you know, talking about it, right? But again, some people seem pretty happy about that. People said, in this video, it looks like you are manipulating him in a lot of ways. The video is 100% biased, saying, should have clarified that in the doc since you included it in the video. Still doesn't feel right to say that knowing what he's done, but I guess that's fair. Which, yeah, obviously that's exactly what I said. I feel like, you know, that should have been detailed within the doc or within the actual video as well. Just saying, like, by the way, this is before I found out all of this kind of stuff, you know, just to kind of clarify that. People saying the amount of hate is wild to me. I went through something similar. This rages me. So don't let anyone gaslight you into feeling bad about what you said in the moment. Your feelings at the time were valid. As someone who's been cheated on, you don't really know how you end up. And yeah, I think it is a common thing with cheating as well, and similar kind of topics, just in everyday, not just like internet drama, that, you know, some people want to give people that second chance because, you know, they've been talking to them every single day, especially if it's like, you know, obviously I know they're not like long-term partners, as in like, you know, the same way like a husband and wife would be. Like if a husband and wife and their, you know, husband or wife cheated on the other, right? A lot of people would want to give them that second chance to them because they've been together for so long. They, you know, they're together every single day, all of that kind of stuff. And I think it's kind of a similar situation in the sense that, you know, they've been talking every day. It seems like she's become pretty infatuated with him, and essentially, yeah, she wants to like believe that there is good and that it was a mistake or whatever. Because again, a lot of people do like to believe there is good in people when sometimes there isn't, right? And I think that is sometimes the case. But yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy, and obviously that's what she had to respond to that clip with. So again, I just kind of wanted to give you that full context of what was going on, because again, you know, obviously this is the clip that's been making the rounds, and a lot of people have been using it against her, and obviously that is her kind of reply. But obviously, you know, you guys can make up your own opinion on whatever you think about that. I still think at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that has come out about Sykkuno is still, you know, the same. You know, nothing has changed really. It's just more so the intent behind how the Google Doc was uploaded and, you know, why it was uploaded in the first place, right? I think that is the main thing that people are arguing about at the moment. But of course, finally, just end it off with this one. A lot of people say, with the accusations of Sykkuno love bombing and sex posting other content creators, the rats are forming in my head. And of course, it's him responding to Gorgura. But obviously, there's a lot of people within OTV and stuff at the time who were responding. So some people, so like, I think they're trying to say that he's trying to slide into Gora's, you know, DMs or whatever. This because he's so good, he cheated on his real girlfriend. That's crazy. And again, there has been some funny, I'm gonna be real, there's been some funny jokes that's come out of this, I'm gonna be real. You know, there's a couple of memes and stuff that have been going around lately, and I think that, yeah, obviously that's always bound to happen, and people are going to try to make light out of the situation, and honestly, I think that's a good thing, right? Because of course it does suck, and there's been a lot of people that have been affected by it, but You know, some people do like to kind of cope by making memes and things, and obviously that seems to be, you know, it seems to be providing a little bit of more of a positive vibe to some people that may be affected by it. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this one clip. I just kind of wanted to go over it, as I said, to give you guys the extra context of what people are talking about at the moment in regards to it, and, you know, what the kind of, I guess, opposite side of the fence are saying about this kind of stuff, because, again, I do find it very interesting. But yeah, obviously, as I said, make up your own mind of what you think about this. But if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.